Hi, this is Natalie Kramer, and this is my presentation on my Brew Devils web space for DMT 475. All right, let's take a look. All right. All right, so here's my home page. Pretty basic, but I wanted to get to my menus and how I use SQL. So I use SQL to put all of this in there, and then my code grabbed the SQL database and put it on here like this. So let's go check out the SQL. So basically, for SQL, I had to figure out what was going to be a table and what was going to be a category in the table, which was kind of hard for me to understand at first, but I got the hang of it. So for this, I did menus, I did menu IDs, and then we have the items and description, category ID, and served ID, and images. So for category ID and served ID, I had to make a served table. Here we go. So I had to make served ID and how served items. So for the hot drinks, I have 1 and hot and cold 2 and cold 3. So that gave me a better understanding of how to organize my SQL information and how it was going to pull it from the database. So looking back at my web space on one of these links, there we go. It was able to take that information and each one give it a certain category, which would be hot, which would be the one, this would be 1 and 2, and specialty 3. All right, let's get to my about. Here's about, and here's the CSS transition with the slide. I think it's done pretty well. I'm pretty proud of it. All right, and let's go on to the contact form. So I'm gonna write my name in real quick here and show you how it works. Here we go, and it sends you right to the thank you page. So how I did that was in the thank you PHP. So I had to take the SQL database. From that, the contact form, excuse me. So I put in contact ID form, first name, last name, email, phone number, and comments. So these are all null because this is what the user would have to enter in. So I put that all in there, and what brought me to the thank you page, and I was able to take data and find my name, the first name variable, and then it showed up like that. So that's pretty cool. Gallery, have some more transitions here, some zoom in, zoom out. All right, and that's basically all my website. So let's go back to the PowerPoint here. All right. So I went over SQL Workbench, saw that, and I'm gonna get into my biggest challenges. So my biggest challenge is like most of this class, honestly, but honestly having a successfully page show up on my browser was a big challenge. Sometimes nothing would show up and that'd be really frustrating. Understanding and manipulating the CSS code, I would make changes and it would mess up other pages, and I just had to understand how those correlated together. And through the semester, we had to switch over to PHP, which was hard when I barely understood HTML. And of course, understanding SQL Workbench, what to make tables, what to make items, how those correlate, and how those match up. And this is just kind of a joke. My biggest challenge was having to enter this password in every other day because it would never remembered, and it was extremely frustrating. All right, biggest success, having a PHP SQL form-friendly webspace by the end, which is a really big deal for me. With every challenge I had, it turned into a success. So every challenge I had, every time I got to work, it was awesome. I felt proud of myself. And of course, accepting the small successes as big ones. So even if I didn't have all my CSS, maybe some information showed up, the fact that my code was pulling at anything, it was showing up on a web space was a big deal. So the basic thing I learned from DMT 475. Where do I start? I really wasn't a big fan of coding for a while because I didn't understand it, and after getting the hang of it, I understand that coding can be fun, and actually really do enjoy it. And understanding the basics to start a website, um, I have to learn to keep my folders organized because that's really important. I spent a lot of time just trying to find folders to work on my assignments. And last but not least, learn from your mistakes and make notes. And that goes with inserting comments in your codes, which helped me a lot with editing codes. And that's all. All right, thank you. Bye.